Well, it seems like these rant videos of mine are quite popular, it seems. Or, well, some of them are theory videos, but nonetheless, they are quite popular. So, how about I do a combination of these theory and rant videos? Oh yes. And this time, let's talk about a cuddly, cute show called Happy Tree Friends. For those that don't know, Happy Tree Friends is about cute, cuddly animals that get brutally maimed and ripped apart, and yeah, it's quite gruesome. But nonetheless, it is entertaining, in my personal opinion. I don't know if you'd say the same. However, there is something that I've always noticed. You see, in the show, there is a character called Lumpy. Lumpy is perhaps one of the main characters in the entire show, and I dare say he's probably one of the most used or most seen or most famous of all the characters. And for whatever reason, the fanbase seems to absolutely hate Lumpy. Which is why I am here to sort of diagnose why exactly is Lumpy so hated. You see, you can't really go on in any episode which involves Lumpy without seeing a comment saying how much they hate that blue moose, or how much they find him annoying. So, this is what I consider my theory on what makes Lumpy so disliked among the fanbase. You see, I did try to ask Reddit about it, the subreddit for Happy Tree Friends, and unfortunately nothing came through. So instead I'm going to try and just wing it on my own. For one thing, I think Lumpy has this problem of appearing way too much, and this is probably my main issue with him. Though personally I do like the character, I can understand why people might get a little bit bored of seeing him in almost every single episode. Lumpy has appeared in more episodes than any other character, and he has a death and survival rate that is almost 50-50, despite of course dying more and surviving more than any other character. That is of course where the 50-50 comes from. But Lumpy appears way too damn much, and it comes to a point where it's almost too tiring to have the same character appear in almost the same exact positions that he is in a lot of the episodes. He is just the dumbass who unintentionally gets people killed or maimed or causes trouble, and as a result the other characters suffer because of his actions. And this is played on time and time again, and it gets to a point where it kind of gets annoying. You sort of dry out this character which you want to promote as a really popular character, but instead of doing that you make him boring, and that is the biggest issue here. And of course, let's not forget that the creators of the show absolutely adore Lumpy. You see, the creators of the show have in behind the scenes, and if you ever got the DVDs, they have explicitly said how much they absolutely adore Lumpy. However, this is a problem. You see, Lumpy may be beloved by the producers, by the creators, by the directors, by the animators, but that doesn't mean that it's going to come across with the audience. It's very easy to do something that is very popular in your opinion or something that you really like, but if it doesn't come across in the outcome, then perhaps it's time to change. And what's worse is the creators are so determined to shoehorn Lumpy into almost every given situation, and it gets to a point where it's sort of too much. There's a problem that I often see with a lot of programs, and that is they do too much with certain individuals or certain aspects of a show, and as a result that too much factor hinders it. Take Robot Wars for example. Robot Wars has Series 9 and Series 7, which are perhaps one of the weaker seasons of the show. Series 7 had a load of heats, in fact it has the most episodes, however most people don't like it. The same goes for Series 9, it had a lot of hype for it and even had the most spinners in the show, but it's actually really bad when you watch it back again. And it's a case of more isn't good, and that's why I've done the comparison there with Lumpy, because Lumpy, more isn't necessarily a good thing. Having him into every given situation, having him in most episodes, having him in episodes which he doesn't even need to be in, it gets a little bit too much. And I feel like that's what's the problem with the fans and Lumpy. I feel like fans don't like Lumpy because he's in the show way too much. If they give him a little bit of a break, give him a few episodes off, maybe they might come to like him again when he appears once more. But at this rate, we're just seeing him in every given situation. no matter how small or minor the appearance, it is too much. And that is the biggest issue here. It is too much. And it isn't helped by the fact that in some episodes he can act like a quiet douchebag, and let's be honest, that's not really going to make fans like his character even more, will it? Making him into quite a cruel individual. Yeah. But, nonetheless, my overall thoughts on Lumpy in the show is, I do like him. He's not my favourite character, but he is one of my favourite, top 3 probably. But I also take issue on the fact that he does appear too much. And of course, that's my personal gripe with him, in that is, you don't really need to have him in every given situation. And I feel like that's probably why the fans don't like him as much, because he's in too damn much. I said much quite a lot, didn't I? But of course, let's not forget, it is quite ironic how fans also want certain characters to appear in every single given episode. Take Flippy and Flaky. These 2 characters are always begged to be in this episode or that episode, all the episodes. And let's be honest now, if those 2 were in as much episodes as Lumpy, I bet you people would get sick and tired of them. And that is my personal opinion on the matter. People would get sick and tired of them, just as they are with Lumpy. So I feel like having too much of the same character appear more is a downside. And it's what's worse is there are certain characters which aren't seen as much. Now, to be fair, I'm not a fan of Disco Bear, Sniffles or Lammy, but those 3 characters hardly appear in the show these days. So why not give them a little bit of a chance? Anyway, I wonder how you like this video. Do you agree, do you disagree, or do you not care?